Holding someone accountable has a very thin line to guilt and unloving. So it doesn't matter what someone's doing. You express to them their behavior back to them. If they do not want to change or take accountability, then you leave it there. Your own need to keep pressing is your own guilt talking. So that's where you've left love because you can't unconditionally accept someone who's afraid to be mistaken. Why are they afraid to take accountability? Because of shame. If you had love and grace and compassion in you, you'd be able to understand someone stuck in their own shame. That's an illusion. So your own need and expectation for them to hold accountability so you can have peace is your own shame talking. Their fixedness and their inability to change and you not being able to change your perception is the same thing. How convenient of the ego to look at forms of being stuck and not changing and not taking accountability. How convenient that you see them not taking accountability in a different form than you're taking accountability, so then you can judge them and guilt them and blame them and find fault in them, but not yourself. You finding fault is you not being loving. So it doesn't matter what loving act, unloving act they did. If eye for an eye makes the whole world blind. And you are blind because you do not have grace and compassion and space to see someone for what they really are. Because you're too hell-bent on the story you have of their wrong, so they need to accept it. How about you just let it go? And if you're in a relationship with someone like this, right, and it's deeper and you can't just forgive and move on and let the relationship go, it's like, well, that person was always like that. And your own lapse of awareness in yourself, when you meet someone, you also have a lapse of awareness in them where you are the same and where they are you. And so, yeah, you entered into a relationship unbeknownst of this, and now it seems to be obvious and visible. Nothing has changed. You just didn't see it to begin with. And that was your own blindness. That's why it's very important to be mindful and aware of ourselves in the mirror effect. How we're seeing others is ourself. So whatever you're frustrated by, you have. Of course, you're attracting somebody who doesn't want to take accountability because you don't want to take accountability of your own perception. So then you're going to have someone who won't take accountability in some way, and then the ego will say, oh, that's a different level of accountability because they're being unloving, but so are you because you can't hold grace. But you don't want to admit that because if you were the same as the person you're finding fault in, that would also make you faulty. So all rivers lead to the ocean. The call is coming from inside the house. You're afraid to see that you're faulty. That's why you have it so much visible in everyone else. You're just seeing your own guilt. And so that's why when you are holding someone accountability, or trying to hold someone accountable to the point where you're becoming upset and you're angry, then you've left the whole point. If they can't accept it, that's on them. And that's it. You have to unconditionally love them and accept them for where they're at. And any inability you have is just showing your inability to have love and grace for your tougher aspects of yourself. You only ever are seeing yourself.